Hey, what's going on, my brothers? So the first question is, what do you get in the meaning of the context? So I know in the entire chapter 12, he's talking about the hypocriticalness of like the Pharisees, kind of being what's the word? Fake, I guess you can say to some extent. Just not a real relationship. So what I got out of that was, he's trying to prepare us for the fact that there's going to be a lot of different divisions in the future with people that you're born into, countries you're born into, families that you're born into, and just to prepare. And we as Americans, we take a lot for granted because we don't realize that we have the freedom of religion here, so you can practice what you want to some extent. But people in Saudi Arabia, it's illegal to practice Christianity. You'll get beheaded. The Church of China is like that too now. The Christianity church in China, like it's very, very different. It's a dictatorship. It's just different. So I think he's trying to teach us a lot, man. And at the end of this, I have not come to put fire on the earth, and what is my desire if it's kindled? But I've come to bring not peace, but debate or division. And sometimes I think debate or division is good as long as it's healthy, How can you relate? So I had actually written this entire thing out, but my text didn't go through. I can relate personally because, right before I went to Israel, I felt called for 3 months out of zeal, but God taught me what I needed to learn by being obedient and going there in less than 2 weeks. And there was a lot of people that within, not necessarily just the family that I was born into, but also other brothers and sisters in the church that I was at the time. There was a lot of healthy anxiety and stress and worries, but there's also a lot of, don't go, like do not. And it was debatable and stuff, but I can relate to it in that extent, which is I chose to still obey God and what I believed. And I thank him, man, because I still learned so much from that trip. In my marriage, I think he was preparing me for things in my marriage with being a dad, and then continuing in different books that he might have me write, the different encounters I had. I think I had a lot of divine encounters with different Muslims and Christians there and Jews that just made my consciousness, brought me to a different awareness in my faith with God that I think I needed for different future relationships, especially our marriage, which if I think I would not have gone, I think it would have been negatively affected, and I wouldn't have been more prepared, Kind of to an extent, I guess you can almost say like how Jesus went into the wilderness for 40 days, kind of, after he was baptized before his ministry and something. Like, I kind of feel like that was my call almost, and to some extent, to just go there, to learn as much as I can. I didn't really know and prepare and know what was coming when I came back in marriage and stuff, but I think that's what, and also being a dad for Caleb and the boys in a blended family. So, but getting back to how can I relate, I say all that because, a lot of fear and worries and stresses and anxieties and division and debate can come from the family that you're born into. And another thing, not just the family, the country you're born into too. Muslims in Saudi Arabia, can you imagine being a brother or sister in Saudi Arabia and then going against it, and then it's illegal? You have to fight for not just for your freedom, for your faith, but you got to fight to survive. Like, it brings up, like, your parents will hate you in Saudi Arabia, in Mecca, in different countries. Like, it's just insane to contemplate, man, and you got to be praying for them. And I don't think we need to bring this awareness how different it is in other countries with their faith with God to the forefront of our minds sometimes, and realize how blessed we are, but then also how much people really, even taking advantage of this, like having a Bible in America, like it's so easy. You go to a store and just buy one. Maybe not now, but you can get it at Amazon. They can't be carrying this around like in Saudi Arabia and different countries. It's completely different. I wrote, how can I apply this to my life? I think that once you get onto a debate or any type of division, it does say in 1 Peter, I wanted to say this, 3:15, 1 Peter, give me 1 second. I'm also really intrigued, man, waiting until I get here. I'm really intrigued, guys, on your opinions and what you get out of this, man. So I've learned a lot during this time, and I'd love to hear your perspective on the verse and what you gain out of it. So please, hold on a second. 1 Timothy, 1 Peter, Philippians, Galatians. I think it's actually after this. Maybe I just messed it up. I should be a little bit more prepared here. Sorry for wasting your time here. Okay, 1 Peter. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Hebrews, James, 1 Peter. Here you go. Chapter 3, verse 15. This is where we actually get the word apologetics, which it says, chapter 3, verse 15, be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you for a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and reverence. He did say debate to some extent. Good conscience for it is better. That's where we get the word apologetics, is having a good reason. The word reason in Greek is apologetic. That's where we get the English word apologetics, but it's apolielio, I believe, in the Greek. But then you should continue having a good conscience, that when we speak of evil with reverence and meekness, always giving an answer to every man that asks you for a reason, or apologetics, of the hope that is in you with meekness and reverence. So when how can I apply this to my life in this context of what Jesus said, not bringing peace, but debate and etc. I can be very debatable. I know myself extremely. Like I really do. I know myself. I can be very debatable, and whether it's my wife, my kids, anyone. So I need to, realize that there's going to be, it's not me that speaks to other people and saves people. It's the Holy Spirit inside of us that speaks to other people through us, with meekness and reverence, with kindness, with humility, not with, let me try to force my opinion down their throat where I need them to see my point rudely and disrespectfully. No, the Holy Spirit softens people's hearts. It's not our job. So that's how I can apply this specific verse and how Jesus was and what he said about he's not going to bring peace. But kind of like a good analogy, I guess you can say, if I was, there's been, even in my personal life and the family I'm born into, like I get in debates all the time with Dad in the Bible, and whether I'm right or whether he's right is not, it's about the Holy Spirit convicting us into being humble with each other, not saying, well, I was right, now you admit you were wrong. It's not about that. It's about letting the Holy Spirit teach us to speak kindly, and yes, we should give an account with the hope that's in us and a defense, which is apologetics, but with meekness and reverence, and we need to be kind with that and not force it. Let the Holy Spirit do his job. It's not us that softens a heart. It's him through us, and all according to his glory and his honor, not with us. You're not going to force someone verbally and rudely and disrespectfully in a debate where you make them feel like an idiot, where they're going to really want to come to Jesus then. I don't think it happens like that. So that's how I can apply it. Guys, I'm eager to hear your responses. Love you. Have a good day. Peace.